All right, we got an advanced exercise in store for you today. This is going to be a combination of the one-arm dumbbell press, which you're probably familiar with, and the hollow hold, which again, you're probably familiar with, but I'll go over it in detail for you. And this is basically just taking two core exercises, one that's more or less going to be working like similar to a plank or something that's more like along these lines, straight forward and backwards, which the hollow hold does as we're holding ourselves. And I'll go over it again just a second if I'm kind of confusing you at the moment. And another core exercise, which is the one-arm dumbbell press, which even though it is an upper body exercise, the fact that you're using one dumbbell at a time forces a lot of strain on the rotary or rotational aspects of the core. So in this case, we're just putting the core on fire with a challenging exercise that we'll go over right now. So first, just a recap on proper hollow hold mechanics or form. But basically, we're looking to have the heels off the ground, not too high. We don't want them up here. Lower back stuck in the floor and even pushing down into the floor. And then rear shoulders off the ground. And to add in a little bit of a wrinkle and a challenge, we're going to do both at the same time. So I've got heels just a little bit off the ground, low back on the floor, elbow, rear shoulders off the ground, and then elbow comes in just a little bit, not out here, and right down. And making sure this fist stays over the elbow at all times. And I'll stop. Talking through that one is not too easy, so I don't recommend it, but very simple exercise. So you've probably done a hollow hold before. It's a great exercise for learning proper mechanics for a chin up. So the hollow hold position is actually the same position you want to learn to be in while you're doing a chin up. That's part of why this is a useful exercise. Obviously, it's great for core strength and you're going to feel your abs real hard. And then we're just throwing in another wrinkle to make it more challenging with the one-arm press. So for the press, make sure the elbow's coming down here and not directly in here or here, but rather somewhere right around here. And like I said before, fist stays over the elbow directly, which is just proper pressing mechanics. In most cases, you're gonna want the fist directly over the elbow for support. You're stacking joints. And if you can think about it, pushing your low back into the floor, although it's a little bit hard while you're focused on pressing. The other thing is what weight to use. Because this is so core oriented, if you think about the weight you use for one-arm dumbbell press, you're not going to use the same amount. Like I can use a 70 or 80 for a one-arm dumbbell press, and even though I've got a 25 right here, that wasn't very hard. But at about 35 or 40 pounds, that's when my form starts to get challenged with a hollow hold with one-arm press. So you're probably going to use roughly about, let's say 50 to 60%, 50, 60, something around there of the weight you'd be using in the one-arm press. So don't think you're going to be using the same amount that you dumbbell bench press or one-arm dumbbell bench press when you do this exercise. Go a little bit lower. Like the hollow hold itself is hard enough for most people. So start with 5 pounds, start with 10 pounds, start with 15 pounds and try it out, which is what I usually recommend when people don't know what weight to use, is just start at the bottom. If it feels too easy, go up from there and find where it feels challenging. Whenever you're doing a new exercise, you don't have to test yourself too much to get better at it because it's so new. So that is the hollow hold with one-arm dumbbell bench press combo exercise, great for the core. Usually I program it from about 6 to 8 reps on each side at about 3 or 4 sets. And I think that's it for that one. Yeah, have fun with it. Tough one. Feel the burn in here.